Hello. Well, my name is Lilliana, as I was introduced. I'm a designer and researcher at the Interaction Research Studio at Goldsmiths University. And I'm going to be talking about the energy bubble and specifically focusing on the design of a research device. Next one, please. So what do we do in the Interaction Research Studio? We explore the design of computational systems for everyday life. A big part of our work is designing and producing research devices that embody new concepts for interaction. These objects, they don't necessarily pursue this, design as a problem solving, but instead the objects create situations that encourage playfulness. Next one, please. Here, there were some examples of them, of the devices. Most of our projects are formed around particular social settings. Sometimes they are designed for nuns in a convent or for elder homes or people's homes. And because of this, an important part of our practice consists on asking volunteers to live with our designs so that we can learn about their experiences with them. Next one. All right, so here is the energy bubble. So I'm going to focus in the design process of this project. So the energy bubble is the design outcome of a project that investigated energy demand reduction within the context of communities of practice in the UK. This project was undertaken through a collaboration between design and science and technology studies at Goldsmiths University. This one. So the project combined ethnographic studies and design-led methods to raise issues around the nature and social practices of low-carbon communities. So we worked with 7 groups across the UK. Each context have very different settings, and they were engaged with a diverse set of environmental issues from global warming, fuel poverty, renewables, and conservation. So here are some examples of the field visits. In Cornwall, as part of our initial engagement, we had different activities such as workshops. We also created cultural probes and other design-led methods. Next one, please. All right, so this is the bubble, the energy bubble. So you please see the videos on. So this is supposed to be a video so that the bubble can do the talking for me. So it doesn't work. Well, can you go back to the image? Well, we don't have the sound of the bubble here, but I can explain what it sounds like. So the energy bubble. What is it? It is an internet appliance. It broadcasts environmental and energy-related content. The devices, they were designed for people, for volunteers from the energy communities we worked with. And so the devices are a network, and they draw content from different online sources, including Twitter, energy-related bodies such as the national grid, but it also allows the users to contribute to the conversation using the microphone, which is displayed there, or via SMS messages. So the result, it's a mixture. It's a polyphony that can be sometimes humorous, sometimes a bit nonsense about energy-related discourses. So it brings to the users a wide variety of points of view. Next one. So here's a diagram of how the energy bubble works. So as I mentioned, the system sources its content from different sources, including the internet scrapes the information, creates databases, and we devise a series of algorithms that mix. They mix, they classify, they create different contents that are broadcast by different synthetic voices in the devices. Okay, so in order to design a research device, we follow the design followed a wide range of considerations. The objects we do, they not only have to fulfill the technical requirements of working properly, but also of being deployed in a long-term trial. But they also, the objects themselves are designed to create a playful engagement. So in order to achieve this, the design process covers different dimensions, from hardware design, sound design, form design. And these processes happen parallelly. They inform each other, and they meet, and they eventually they come together as the object. So in this picture, we have an example of the hardware in a very early stage. It was a combination of off-the-shelf components. It uses a Raspberry Pi as a processor, and we also designed a series of custom-made circuit boards to enable the user interaction. Okay, next one. So an important part of the device was its soundscape. So the content is interspersed with a series of chimes and jingles that were composed and designed at the Interaction Research Studio, and they add to the very idiosyncratic soundscape of the Babble. Yes. And well, another dimension to it was the form design, the Babble as an object. We looked into different design directions for defining the material properties of the Babble. This is just an example of the types of iterations that we developed throughout the process. We looked into radios from different eras. This is a Brown radio, other sound objects such as megaphones, or this is another image of a futurist installation called the Intona Rumori. Next one. So all these dimensions come together into the final object. Here is the final design, and it consists of a glass megaphone that is was blown by a local workshop. The base is plastic injection molded. And here we can see an exploded view of the Babble just to show the complexity of all the components that come together in the device. So it is a combination, as I mentioned, of custom-made parts, custom-made circuit boards, also off-the-shelf components such as USB speakers, USB cables, Wi-Fi dongles, and all of these, the design process brings together all these elements into the final object. So we produced 30 devices. So we had a batch production that took place, most of it in our workshop. We had a combination of processes, including 3D printing and very complicated coiled cables. And well, finally, here are the devices in the deployment. So the 21 devices were deployed in the different communities that we have worked with, and they were the volunteers were living with them for about 6 months. I wanted to highlight these steps that took place throughout the design process because they were essential to create a playful engagement where the volunteers could reflect in a different way on issues of energy demand reduction. Next one. And for a complete account of the project, you want to know more about the deployment, you can visit our website, which is there, or you can have a look at the paper, a comprehensive paper. Thank you.